Hi, it's Savannah Ogwin from Savannah Land 2. Today I'm going to share my thought process on creating a project using the Reverse Confetti February Color Story Challenge. Now these colors really stumped me and I thought to myself I would make a scrapbook page. But then as I was removing my project pieces that I thought would work together, I got an idea. It literally hit me that I thought would work, and I'm going to create a card instead for this video. And I'm making it a nautical theme. Those colors really stand out to me as a nautical color story, so I'm going to make that. And this card is actually going to be quite smaller than an A2 card. It's more vertical and narrower, and so sometimes I like to do that with my cards, is switch up the size of it. But right here I'm just adding pieces together and trying to figure out what my center panel is going to look like. And in the end, I actually wish I would have used an entire white piece of cardstock as my base for this panel, but I wasn't thinking. Like I said, it literally hit me and then I just went with it. So in the future, maybe I should think about my projects in advance, but I'm just adding these pieces together and creating my center panel. And now I'm going to cut my card base down. I wanted a little bit of the white to show. And now you can see just how small it is. I love that little anchor. It's from the Reverse Confetti Happy Harbor set. It's one of my favorite sets. And I decided that I was going to use it on a vellum piece at the bottom. Now the sentiment I'm using is from Count Your Rainbows, and I wanted to put a bit of it on metallic paper, so I embossed that first because it really needs to cool down before I fussy cut the letters out. And as you can see, I've cut the sentiment into little pieces so that I can arrange it any way I'd like. And so now I'm just moving with, just moving them around, trying to figure out what I want to stamp first and how I want it to look on the paper. And I decided to stamp the center of the sentiment first, and then I'd work out from there. And I decided that I would use some Whisker Graphics Red Divine Twine at the top. I thought that would be a nice punch of red. And now I'm just messing with the bow. If you watch any of my videos, you know that I have problems with bows. And I found out that if I put a little bit of a glue dot underneath it, it will stay where I want it, but it doesn't always work, so I thought I'd try it. And I can tell you it didn't work, but it did help out in the end, just keeping it where I wanted it, but the bow ended up a mess, but that's besides the point. I still like it. So now I'm going to cut out my sentiment, and when you're working with metallic paper, it's extremely important to cut around the embossed part, and I did not do that on this trial right here. I also didn't really like how I stamped this. I stamped it with the Memento Luxe Espresso Truffle, and then I put clear embossing powder over it. I wish I would have had matching embossing powder because it would have stood out a little bit more. So I did it again the second time on metallic paper using Versamark ink and black embossing powder, and it looks really good. So as I'm cutting them out, I'm just attaching them with some glue, and you can actually click the link above. I've talked about how I do this with letters from Reverse Confetti because this is my favorite technique to do, is fussy cut. So I'll share that link up there in the left hand corner. But while I was doing this for the second time, I accidentally cut some of the letters incorrectly. So you'll see I'm thinking here, and I'm trying to figure out what I should do. Should I continue cutting these letters out, or should I re-stamp it? So I salvaged some of the letters, and then I end up re-stamping and embossing. You just can't do a video without a problem every so often. So I clear my workspace, I think about it, and I'm going to re-stamp the C and the U again. And now I'm just going to attach my O while the other part is drying, cooling down actually. And now I'm going to cut it out. And this time I actually went extremely slow. I said, I'm not going to have this happen again. And so it finally worked out, but I absolutely love fussy cutting. I don't care how small the letters are or how small the image. It's just one of my favorite things to do. And it ends up looking super cute on this card. I love that metallic red with the ribbon and the other two colors. It looks so cute. So from here, the card goes pretty quick. I stamp my anchor onto the vellum and I heat emboss it because the ink is a little bit wet. And there I couldn't pick it up, and I said to myself, if I mess this image up, I'm going to have to start over. But thank goodness I didn't smear it. And now I'm just going to add a little bit of glue on the back, and I'm going to staple it on the front just to add that little bit of extra masculinity with the staple. And I mess with the bow a little bit before I start attaching foam dots, and that really is it. I attach it to the front of the card, and there it is. That's the end. And I love how this turned out. I really enjoy these colors, and I love color challenges, so I hope you will join in the fun with the Reverse Confetti crew and the February Color Challenge. But that's it for me today. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.